Okay, everyone, here I am back again. It's been a long 4 years since I started YouTube, and I took a long break because of two reasons. I just want to say that before, if you guys watched my channel before, I had a guy named Josh who was helping me. He was actually doing all the edits and the filming, and the guy had to go back to Korea. That was 4 years ago. And also, the other reason is I didn't really have someone else to replace him. The best person I could think of was myself, and I really didn't really want to use myself as an example. But then, as everyone always says, if you want to get something done, you got to do it yourself. So here I am, and it took me this long to think of a project I could do where I could commit to this and not give up. And literally, this is going to be a 10-year project, and here I am. Okay. But to begin, I want to discuss something that I've lectured on in my prior YouTube videos. And if you see my channel, you know what I mean. The main theme moving forward will be my discovery on thought. I discovered, okay, through Albert Einstein's famous formula, E equals mc squared, I analyzed that, and I found something very fascinating. I found that our thoughts, okay, it produces energy, and that energy consequently brings masses into our lives, okay? So thought equals energy equals mass. That's what I found, okay? And you'll see that it's a literal scientific statement. Now, to really work on this formula, all right, there's some other formula I found years back, which is I label as the J10 formula, okay? I found it from a book called The Magic of Time. It was written by Sun Hae-jung and Young Woo-seo, the other writers of the book. And they introduce a character of the name J, okay, just like the letter J, all right? Now, J, he's talking to the main character in the book. And one thing he brings up is something very interesting. And I saw the movie. He brings up a movie called Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. If you remember the movie, it was starring Bill Murray, and it was a comedy. And he was telling the main character of the book, all right, that he saw the movie and it made him think of an epiphany. Okay, he had an epiphany from it. All right. So the main character asked Jay, "What was that epiphany? What did you see that was so fascinating?" And he was telling the story, and I'm going to relay the story with you. It's a fun movie, by the way, if you guys want to watch it. But the magic Groundhog Day, all right? The main character, Bill Murray, the guy who plays the main character is Bill Murray. Okay, he's a reporter, and he has to go to this small town. Can't really pronounce it. I don't remember what it's called. It was Punxsutawney or something like that. Okay. And he had to go to that small town to film their annual Groundhog Day celebration, all right? So he's there filming, but something interesting happens, okay? For no reason whatsoever, he's magically stuck in that town in some sort of time loop, all right? He's waking up every single day in that small town exactly at 6 a.m. with the same alarm sound, with everyone just acting exactly the same when he woke up, all right? And he's stuck in that time loop. He cannot get out. He's just stuck. So in this movie, we watch that character that Bill Murray plays, how he reacts to be in this time loop, okay? So he takes it to his advantage, and he just does anything he can to just make it fun for himself, all right? He can literally rob a bank. He can steal money from people. He can party all night, do drugs, eat whatever he wants, anything. The reason why, when he wakes up the next day, it's always, again, the same bed, the same time, the same alarm music, okay? It's always the same. And when he gets up, everything's always the same. It just keeps repeating, all right? So as the story progresses, as much as he thinks it's so fun that he can just, take advantage of this time loop, eventually it gets to him, okay? He realizes that it's not fun anymore. It's just, everything is just so repetitive, and he's living his life over and over and over again. And it starts to get to him. The story does end with a happy ending, but this is something where Jay, the character of The Magic of Time, discusses to the readers, okay? He's saying, all right, when he saw that movie, it really made him realize, that's not just the story of that movie. This is like something that we live through as everyday humans, I mean, we could have a great job. We could have all the money in the world. We could have a beautiful family, whatever, okay? Whatever our situation's in, we're all different. But every day, okay, we get up, do the same grind. We get up having to deal with the same problems. We get up dealing with the same stupid people Every single day. It's always over and over, waking up. And literally, quite literally, when I read that book, this was probably when I was in my mid-30s, it reminded kind of me, all right? I was reading this book and I was like, oh my God, this guy's right. This is exactly how I feel. This is about maybe 15 years ago, right? In my mid-30s when I read the book. At that time, all right, I was living inside a loft, okay? And I was doing my personal training business like I am doing today. I was living and working there, working very hard to get my business to grow, to get customers, and even open a commercial location that I have now to this day. At that time, I didn't. I was living in that loft, didn't have a commercial location, just working as very hard as anyone else. That's what I was doing, living my life. But as hard as I tried, as much as I sacrificed, as truly like having the passion that I had for my job and to help people, I did not see my business going anywhere. Okay, and that is actually not even an exaggeration. To put it this way, when I first moved in that loft, I told myself, you know what? If I work very hard, I can work harder, move out of here, open my commercial location, yada, yada, yada. But guess what? Okay? That dream not only just took 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it took 8 years. I was in that building for 8 years wanting to leave. It's not like, and don't get me wrong, I wasn't living in some kind of like a rat hole and, suffering all the time and it was like an ugly place. It was a great place. I'm very grateful that I was there. However, that feeling of being stuck, that feeling of waking up every single day to the same grind, to the same problems, to the same agenda that's not getting anywhere. It was really, really, really tough on me psychologically. It was, all right? Though I made it out and I did a good job, and, we'll go into that more later today, that time loop, being stuck in a time loop, that feeling was just so real to me. And I just really felt like, what if I'm here until I'm 80 years old? Like I'm 80 years old and I'm stuck in the same loft, training the same people. I was thinking far ahead and being kind of silly, but that was me. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate with me. Okay? I'm sure a lot of you today, to this very day, feel that time loop. Okay? I'm confident, all right? I'm very confident. So what I want to do, I did give a lecture about thought. Now, I did give a lecture how that energy produces masses in your life, all right? Which, again, is very true, which is just like 2 + 2 = 4. But so what, right? Okay, so that's fine, okay? But how is that going to really help me, If you really want to get into it, how will this apply to me so practically? And that's why I want to start my YouTube channels again. And I'm hoping that moving forward, my videos will inspire others to do something similar at least, and to follow the similar principles and not live in such a time loop, okay? Live your dreams, chase your dreams, and make those dreams a reality for anyone. I don't care how big or small you are. This applies for everybody, okay? And I have to thank that book, The Magic of Time, and that character Jay for this idea, because I'm going to apply it to myself. Okay, so the first rule is, all right, it's called J10, like the number 10, and there's a reason for that. All right, step number 1, and I'll tell you mine. Step number 1, as of now, moving forward, 10 years from today, where do you imagine yourself to be 10 years from today, okay? So to give you an idea, right now I'm 47 years old, so 10 years from today I'll be 57, okay? And 10 years from now, I still have my dreams, okay? I do have my commercial location like I succeeded at, but 10 years from now, I dream of opening maybe like a full-scale gym, okay? Like those commercial gyms that you see that are, just completely big and just having memberships and hundreds of people coming in. That would be one of my big dreams in 10 years, all right? There's another one I have, all right? There's 2 of them actually, and either of them, if they succeed, I'll be very happy actually, to be honest with you. So either or both would be just, to me personally, would be awesome. The second dream I have is to live overseas, all right? I was born and raised in Los Angeles, grew up here my whole life. So, I do dream of living overseas and exploring the world that way and not feel like I'm stuck here. Though again, it's not like that. I dislike this place. It's just, and I'm very grateful for Los Angeles. But I just feel like my calling is to be worldwide, as you could say. So those are my two 10-year dreams. Okay, so think about yours. Where do you imagine yourself in 10 years? I mean, everyone's different, right? It could be something simple. You just want a family, or you want to see your kids grow in this and that, or you just want to get married or something, anything, or you may have a bigger dream. I want to own a freaking building in Houston, or I want to own a building in Houston and New York. Just, whatever your dream is, okay, write that down, all right? Not only write that down, but I suggest you share it to people, okay? Talk about it. It holds you accountable, and it just gets you motivated, because now it's not just something you keep into yourself. You're telling people, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do to make it happen, all right? So that's step number one, okay? I told you mine, so you think of yours, all right? Now, the character Jay also says, once you have that down, think of 10 life events that are happening now, that are happening, year by year. Write those down, okay? And with those 10 life events, you strategize on them, okay? Because you're going to work those 10 events towards your 10-year goal. That's the whole purpose, all right? And believe me, if I went from being stuck in a time loop to where I am now today, I'm going to tell you something that works, okay? And this is a very good strategy for all of us. And it organizes our thoughts so that our energy gets organized as well. And we organize the masses that we have in our life so that when 10 years go by, we see our vision, we see our dream become realized, okay? So look, here are my 10 notable life events that I'm going to share with you now. And I'm going to go into more about that with my future YouTube videos. All right, so this is no special order, but here I go, okay? The first three are work-related, okay, that deals with my work. And again, there's no order of importance. Number one is my marketing, okay? As a trainer, I have to really market myself. And I wrote down, and I'm looking at it right now in front of me, number one is Zoek, okay? Z-O-E-K. I'm using this company called Zoek right now to help promote my business. And their specialty really is SEO, okay? That's what their specialty is. And I just started with it maybe 2-3 months ago. And right now, they are my prime marketing goal, I guess you could say. I got to see how well they work with me. I'm going to see how far we get, if they're doing a good job or a bad job, et cetera, et cetera. So that's number one, okay? Zoek. And again, I'll go into more detail about this later. Number two is what I'm doing right now is YouTube, okay? I've been wanting to do YouTube, and I'm doing it now, but YouTube will be number two, okay? Number three, personal training. That's my business. So I'm going to talk about things that are related to my job with my trainers, with my clients, and how I deal with them and the exercises that I do in here, all right? The next two are my finance-related stuff, okay? Finance-related. So 4, I have stock investments. I just started this as well. Stock investments, and I'll be talking about that in the future. Number 5, I accrued not too big of a debt, but I do have a credit card debt, and that's not because I'm just a wild spender or anything. And I'll go into that again in the future, but that'll be my number 5 is my debt, mainly the credit card, right? The next 3 deals with my personal well-being, okay? Number 6, my workouts, okay? That's a big life event for me, and I'll go into that. Number 7, you might see it in my face. I have these little marks, okay? That's from my acupuncture. So that's a big event in my life that I'm going through. So that's going to be a discussion. Number 8, I wrote down being single, okay? I'm a single guy. Just to let you know, I was once married. I'm a divorcee, no kids, no girlfriend at the time. I did have a girlfriend a few years ago, but we'll go more into that later. But I wrote single life / gratitude, right? And the reason why I write that is because, being single and, just being married, being anybody, it's not easy. Okay, you have to appreciate who you are and what situation you're in. So rather than complaining all the time that I'm single, I wrote gratitude, and we'll go into discussions of that too in the future. All right, the last 2, 9 and 10, okay, it deals with my recreation in life, all right? Number 9 is learning and perfecting my Korean. My Korean is pretty good. It's not native speaking, but it's very, very good. And we'll go into that more in the future. Lastly, number 10, PSVR2, okay? So that's a virtual reality I'm playing on the PS5. Now, that's actually been very helpful for me, believe it or not. I'm not a gamer at all, but I'll go into it again more in the future. But about 2 years ago, I lost my dog. I think she was in my prior videos, but she passed away 2 years ago. It's been kind of hard emotionally, but believe it or not, the PSVR2 system has been a lifesaver for me. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. I have my 10 notable events. All of you know my 10-year plan. Okay, my 10-year goal. So for the next 10 years, my goal every week is to talk about the 10 points that I listed today. And I'm not going to do all 10 every video all at once. My plan is I'm going to entitle my video. Okay, I'm thinking about something as like building my legacy or such and such. And what I'll do under that main theme, I'm going to hashtag the 10 life events that I just listed to you. Okay, so if I'm going to talk about Zoic, it'll be my building my legacy slash building my legacy hashtag Zoic, or building my legacy hashtag personal training. And I'll go into that in the future so that you will see how all this is progressing in my life. And people, this is going to be very practical, okay? I'm going to talk about how I started my business. I'm going to talk about how my business is doing. I'm going to open my, I'm not going to just give you everything, but, I'm going to tell you a lot about myself and how I work. And this could help just anybody. If you're thinking about running your own business, about starting your own, website or whatnot, all this is related. And if you speak with any small business owner, they too will tell you that they took similar steps to what I am doing today. And, whatever it is, okay, all these 10 points I just listed right now, I'm sure everyone can relate with. So the whole theme of this is to watch me, okay, accomplish what I'm going to do in 10 years. And we're going to see this happen week by week. That'll be my my YouTube goal, I guess you could say. That'll be my goal for the next 10 years. And people, I hope that all of you will stay watching. I hope all of you could take something away from this. And I'm hoping I too can learn a lot about myself as I do this. So this is going to be a very fun, challenging, and a learning experience, I hope, for everyone, viewers and me alike. So I'm really putting myself out there, and I hope, this will be a right choice. I think it is so far, and I want to pat myself on the back. So, if you have any comments, please leave any comments, and I'll be happy to answer it. And we'll see how this unfolds in the next 10 years. All right. Goodbye, everyone, and wish me luck.